Emu is Nika. Nika is Emu. They both share the same power, just in reverse. Let me explain. With this theory, I think I just cracked the code on everything about Nika's power, what potential Luffy has yet to achieve, and it all has to do with Emu's devil fruit. To understand Luffy's power, we first need to understand Emu's power. This will all make sense at the end. So with Emu's power, it's described to us as a trinity, corruption being Domi Reversi, covenants, and omen flames. Emu says the envy to achieve one's goal is omen, and omen is something that's found in all things. I believe omen runs off of envy, one of the first sins done by the devil. Omen can be read as Maki in a different Japanese script, which is translated to demonic haki. So if the essence of Maki is envy, I think the essence of haki is love. Not only romantic or familial love, but also the love of your comrades and the desire to protect them. Garp can hit Luffy and he describes it as a fist of love. Love is preached by Gaban and is also called the power to make the impossible possible by Vegapunk. Love is stated in the Bible to not envy, basically establishing the direct opposition of both concepts. The Greek word for envy in this verse means to burn with zeal or jealousy. That's why omen, the power of envy, is literally black flames. Now, I've always thought that if Emu has three concepts that form a trinity that fall under his ideal of domination, would Nika also have three concepts that would fall under his ideal of freedom? I think I found it with this verse in the Bible. It says that three things remain or will last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest out of these three is love. This immediately got me thinking, since we already established the connection between love and envy or omen. Faith would be the direct opposite of covenant, since faith means you believe in something even without seeing it, and a covenant is forced servitude. Hope is believing that something good will happen in the future, and corruption is desire to get quick power immediately at the cost of your will. Now here's where specific abilities come into play. Since Omen is Maki, the power connected with Mu, I think it would be fair to call Mu the supreme king of Maki. Haki is based on love, one of the core concepts of Nika. We can call Nika the supreme king of Haki. Here's some more proof. Nika is the only character we've seen of an awakened Zoan or mythical Zoan who produced his own Haki. Luffy in Gear 5 has his own red color of Haki, and he was able to produce another color of Haki, which is golden, so it's likely that Nika has his own base of Haki, which is why his fruit is able to evade the world government's hands for 800 years. It has a will of its own, probably even stronger than the will of regular mythical Zoans. Another name for Conqueror's Haki is Color of the Supreme King. The god fruits like Zaza and Emu have a ring based on their elemental abilities, specifically of Omen and Water. When Joy Boy shot out his Haki in the anime against the 5 Gorosei, we seen a ring made out of Haki with writing on it, another piece of evidence. Corruption is Domi Reversi, the ability to turn others into a demon. I think the Nika inverse, which is going to be based on hope, is giving out the power of Nika, which is called the freeform by Luffy. So the inverse of getting turned into a demon and losing your will is becoming the most free, like Nika. This, I believe, was foreshadowed by Bonnie turning into Nika. Covenants give you an immortal body, which makes you bound to living. So what if the Nika inverse is turning your body into rubber, giving you a free body to stretch and move around based on the faith aspect? Even in the mural, it's stated that the servants prayed and Nika appeared. Nika only appeared when they had hope and faith in him. With Omen, Emu is able to give you a buff with your powers, so Luffy should be able to give you a buff with Haki. If Nika is the supreme king of Haki, it's pretty obvious that Luffy will have the strongest Haki post-series. All these abilities, I realized, affect the mind, body, and spirit. When you become Domi Reversi, you're basically mind controlled into becoming Emu's servant. When you get a covenant, you gain an immortal body. Maki is literally called demonic Haki. Haki is spiritual willpower. You either become a servant to Mu or your most freest self with Nika. With Nika, you get the freedom to choose to believe in him and follow him. With Mu, you're forced to strip your will to his demands, domination versus freedom. Nika representing true divinity and Emu representing demonic power.